up on tonight's UAP news show.
Eyes on the sky, the UFO phenomena expands across continents.
Psychic powers and UFOs, a cosmic coincidence or the missing link?
And who will deliver the death blow to UFO secrecy?
Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Allie. We are back at it again for another episode of UAP Society's weekly UFO news show. I am stoked to get started, so without further ado, Justin, say hey.
Greetings, cosmic enthusiasts. It's Justin here, and let's dive right in.
All right, up first, eyes on the sky. The UFO phenomenon expands across continents. Get ready for an electrifying deep dive into the world of UFOs as mysterious drones and glowing orbs take the center stage across New Jersey, Miami, and even Brazil. From flight restriction zones to people offering to pay skeptics to debunk their jaw-dropping footage, this story has it all. In this episode, we'll break down the evidence, share compelling videos, and even hear from experts weighing in with their unique perspectives. Whether you're a hardcore believer or a true blue skeptic, you won't want to miss this journey into the unexplained.
All right, guys, the first video that we have for you is straight out of New Jersey. It's a pretty interesting video, in my opinion. I didn't see any blinking lights, so I don't think they're airplanes. I don't see any flickering in the video, so I don't think it's Chinese lanterns, like some other people have said that it might be.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting video for me. Let's take a look at it now.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That only blinked because it went past the power line.
Right.
7.
Yeah, see, I don't really see them flickering.
I don't see no blinking lights. I don't see no red or green positioning lights or whatever they're called. Did he just zoom in? Is that what happened?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither.
I didn't see any flickering, right? So the flickering would mean it's a Chinese lantern,
Okay.
you know, but I think Chinese lanterns are illegal over New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think it's them.
Well, I mean, since you want to talk about airspace that has been made illegal to fly in, let's move on to this next tweet from TheIntelFrog that says, more TFRs, red circles, are being posted by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
There are now several TFRs over upstate and western New York now. Unlike the previous TFRs covering the energy sector, some of these cover manufacturing/industrial sites as well as other locations. So there you have it. Now they're trying to claim certain airspace that wasn't illegal to fly in before.
Restricted. So
Now it's
TFR
restricted.
stands for temporary flight restriction.
Mhm.
These TFRs are in place, I believe, until mid-January.
Okay.
So they're adding them to all these sites of interest all over New Jersey and New York.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why would they be doing that if it was just hobbyist drones? I mean,
I know.
you wouldn't. I don't think that they would issue that many TFRs around that many infrastructure
Unless there was
sites
something to
or
this, right?
right or government research facilities. You know,
Mm-hmm.
unless
Oh, you just made me think of something.
unless you know, I mean, there's something really anomalous going on, and
I mean,
they don't want to admit it.
Right.
You know?
Sometimes you have to not listen to what they say because they're going to say what sounds good. You got to look at what's happening and their reaction to it and
Right.
judge their reaction to it.
Right.
Because right now, like Justin just said, if these drones were no big deal and it's nothing to be afraid of, then why are you keeping them from traveling over manufacturing and industrial sites? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why the caution if there's nothing to be fearful
Unless
of?
there's been an uptick in drone, quote unquote, drone reports around, let's say, nuclear power facilities or government research facilities or, you know, infrastructure.
I also heard the thing that I thought of earlier, just a second ago, was somebody mentioned that in New Jersey, there's
Mhm.
some sort of plasma, I don't want to say factory because that sounds like weird to me, but like
A what?
a plasma research facility maybe is the right way to say it. I don't know. It could,
yeah,
it
okay.
could maybe not be true. I'm not really sure. I didn't like fact check it before I said it out loud, so I'm not sure. But I mean, you know, they're attracted to nukes. They're attracted to Anywhere where humans are doing things that could affect other time, spaces, and dimensions. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
All right.
Good question.
Now let's take a trip south and head to Miami, shall we? On Reddit, user John1618 posted, object flying between Miami apartments, drone or orb. The time was 6:15 p.m. on December 11th, 2024, and the location was South Beach, Miami, Florida, USA. And to quote a really, really old Will Smith song, Bienvenidos a Miami. Do you remember that song from Will Smith? Oh my God. I'm dating myself. Anyways, okay. TikTok user Jessica Real Estate captured this video from the balcony of her apartment in the South Tower of Continuum in South Beach. The footage shows a glowing orb approaching from the sea, and in the final moments, it can be seen passing in front of the North Tower. So before we show this video to you guys, I want to preface you with what you're about to see. So we have the actual video, and then we have a still shot of somebody that pointed out with 3 different arrows, the 3 different things you need to pay attention to, and then we show you the video again, just so you could see it with the knowledge of the picture in your mind. So we have the before, the picture, and then we're showing it to you again so that you have all the things in your head that you need to correctly evaluate what's going on. So let's see what you think. Again.
And it's so quiet.
Quiet, no blinking.
All you hear is the wind coming off of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you see the object, the reflection in the glass, and then the reflection on the banister.
Yeah, and pay attention to those 3 sites as the next video plays again. Well, the same video plays again. Because, like, you can't fake a light traveling over a piece of metal, like, the shadow of the light, or the... Never mind. I'm messing up my words. So you could see, like, as the orb travels above, the light on the banister moves with it. And that's pretty, I would say, pretty hard to...
That's hard to fake, even with it, you know. I mean, even if somebody used AI, which I don't think they did, that is still pretty hard to fake, in my opinion. So that basically tells me that there was a real object, you know, in that airspace that went between the buildings. Right? So what that is the question.
Right. And if it was a drone that close,
I imagine you'd be able to hear it.
You'd hear like a...
Yeah, you would hear the hum of the rotors.
Right.
Of the blades.
And just for those people out there that want to say something along the lines of like, oh, it was a plane.
Or
it was a helicopter.
Right.
We have an actual video of an actual helicopter from that same balcony, from the same user, so we could see the difference between what the orb looks like going between the buildings, and then what this helicopter looks like scanning Miami Beach.
Now I believe this is a Miami police helicopter. They're searching for something or somebody on the beach. It's totally not related to that
orb incident. We're just using it for comparative purposes, in other words, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can clearly hear the helicopter.
Yeah.
I see red, I see green, I see blinking, I hear rotors. Very obviously a helicopter. And very, very different from the first video.
Exactly.
So we'll leave it up to you guys. We're not here to tell you what it is one way or another. We're just here to show you this stuff so you can figure it out and make up we can all make up our minds together. Right.
All right, so this next video is from this Reddit user, and we're not exactly sure how to say this name, so I'm just going to call it Tapioca. So anyway, so this person posted, "This is the most unbelievable video I've ever seen of UFOs in my entire life. Where's the excuse now that they don't film with a good camera? ? And I don't know, this video it's definitely out of focus for sure.
Okay.
But there's a key difference in this video that I thought was notable. When you record a star or a planet or a really bright object and it's out of focus, you can clearly see the symmetry within that recording. You can see the different lenses of the camera, so to speak, within the video. And this particular clip has a very bright spot off to the left of the center of the object. So it is out of focus. It is a bright light out of focus, but I don't think it's a star or a planet like some people have said.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll play the video for you to see, and I'll catch you on the other side.
All right. There are two things that this is reminding me of.
Okay.
Let's see if I can zoom in more.
I don't know if I should mention it
I
like
can't, but my
now
fingers don't work.
or afterwards.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see if I can zoom in.
Okay, so you see how the bright spot is off to the center, and it's not really symmetrical?
It's not symmetrical at all.
Right.
It's all globular.
Which, that's weird to me.
That's kind of cool.
I wish I would be tech savvy enough to know how to like have stabilized this video because it makes me dizzy.
Can you talk to me? Can you hear me?
So
Jesus loves me.
you're about to start seeing a bunch of waves.
Oh, you
right
know
there.
Jesus.
Nice
You know
interpretation.
Jesus. Jesus is awesome, isn't he? Yes, he is.
So if this is an object that's outside of the atmosphere, those waves could be caused by the atmosphere.
God is good.
But
God is good.
the interesting thing to me is how
God
the
is
light,
good.
the bright spot is off to the center, and it's not symmetrical.
Okay. I'm going to save my commentary for the end.
Okay.
Okay, so that object reminds me of two different things.
Okay.
The first one is one of them lightning static balls where like you turn it on, it's got the thing in the center, and then it sends out these little like lightning bolt things to the edge of the glass, and like if you touch the glass, it like goes up to your hand.
Yeah. Okay. So like one of those novelty items that you would get from
like you would get it like Hot Topic
Right,
or like
yeah.
Spencer's or some shit like that. I have one. It's at my parents' house, but anyways, it's really cool. My uncle gave it to me. It's actually like a family heirloom that I treasure, which is why I left it at my parents' house because I didn't want it to get broken. But this is all a really hard digression to say that it even like when you put music on, the lightning even like bounces to the beat of the music. It's really chill.
Yeah, the electricity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so it reminds me of the lightning ball thingy, and then I'm an agriculture student, and I've been studying agriculture since I was in high school, and then I took it to the collegiate level as well. And one of the first things that popped in my mind is when you're candling an egg. I don't know how many of you guys in the audience have ever candled an egg before, but like I'll pop up a picture over here on the side so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. But basically, like when you put a fertilized egg, well, the point of candling an egg, honestly, here's a lesson in agriculture you didn't know you needed. The point in candling an egg is to see if it's fertilized or not, because you could see the embryo inside if there is one to be seen. So basically, you stick the egg on a light source. The light source illuminates the inside of the egg, and from there you're able to determine if the right parts are there to determine that it was fertilized and there will be a chick coming, or if it's unfertilized and people can eat it. So it's reminding me of how the very, very center where everything kind of coagulates and then the blood vessels break off from there. Now, obviously the blood vessels don't like jump around and move and dance and stuff like that, but just the structure of like that big thing in the center with all these little veins coming off of it, that's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
Yes. And also, because we like to give you things to compare stuff to, we have another video that we want to show you. Because this came from what people were saying, like in the comments. They were saying, "Oh, it's a planet. Oh, it's a star." Okay, well, we're about to show you a planet, and we're about to show you some stars.
People were saying it was Venus,
which we have a video of to show you to compare it to. So we have a video of Venus to compare it to, and then what are those two stars? Betelgeuse. I always say Betelgeuse, but I think I'm saying it wrong. Arcturus and Betelgeuse. There we go. Let's check those out. All right, so here's Venus, because people were specifically saying, "Oh, it's Venus. Venus is in the sky right now. It's visible, so this is what it is." Okay, well, let's figure that out. Let's see what you think. It's going to get closer zoomed in, don't worry. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, super, super symmetrical.
Symmetrical, right.
Very circular.
The reason that it's symmetrical is because of the lens of the camera.
Okay.
So that's light passing through all the different lenses in this camera.
Okay, but I don't see no jumping lightning ball things in that.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the stars. These are two different stars, unfocused. See, that looks more similar to the video, but it doesn't look
You can still
exact.
see the symmetry within the image.
Right, like I see similarities, but I don't see like an identical match.
Right.
I see points and pieces that I could pull out as
and you can see the concentric rings.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the waviness is from the atmosphere distorting the light as the light passes through the
But the
atmosphere.
waviness of these stars doesn't look like the waviness of the
Yeah, it
orb
does.
video.
To me, it does.
To you, it does. Well, to me, it doesn't. See, look, not
Okay.
everybody agrees on everything, guys. It's a life lesson for you. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think it is? You know,
I mean,
let us know in the comment section down below what you think we just saw.
yeah, and
Okay.
if those two things are the same or any thoughts you guys have.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to head down to Brazil. On X, Dr. Disclosure said, calling all skeptics. I'll give 0.005 BTC to anyone who can successfully debunk this. Hashtag crypto debate. The video was filmed in Brazil on Sunday, December 15th at I don't know how to say that park in I don't know how to say that place. But that's okay. We can still watch the video.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Clearly, it looks like a triangle with some lights on the bottom of it in the center. I don't know. It could be classified aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Anytime I see a triangle, my brain automatically says TR3B.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people were programmed to think.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, I fell victim to programming. Gasp! Blasted!
Right. I mean, but who knows? You know, I mean, is it possible that there's
Didn't you tell me TR3Bs is a Lockheed Martin thing?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I don't know what that is. It's a triangle. Obviously, it looks like a triangular craft. It could be CGI. It could be a real airplane. You know, there's just not enough data on that particular video.
Could be a UFO.
It could be a UFO. Right. We don't know. You know, but I think it's interesting that the guy said he would pay somebody some money.
He's willing to pay. I didn't do the currency transference or translation or whatever you want to call it to figure out.
We're not sure how much that is.
How much that is in like dollars or pounds or when or whatever money form you use. But he's willing to pay somebody. So I don't know if you guys have heard any updates about that video being debunked. Please let us know.
Yep.
What do you think of the footage captured by Jessica? Could it be a game changer in UFO documentation? What are your thoughts on the significance of offering a crypto bounty for debunking the footage? Does that strengthen or weaken its credibility? I don't even know if it has an effect on it at all. Make sure to drop us a comment down below to let us know. And you could also share your ideas with the UAP Society Discord server, now called Lato Files Discord server as well. An invite link can be found in the video description box below, along with the links to all of the sources you're going to see in today's show. So make sure to check that out.
Up next, psychic powers and UFOs, a cosmic coincidence or the missing link? From the quantum connections of human consciousness to encounters with the unknown in the skies, we're diving deep into the mysteries of UFOs and non-human intelligence. In this next story, we'll hear from Stanford researcher Dr. Gary Nolan and Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Rudy Schild explore the psychic phenomena that seems intertwined with UAP encounters. Additionally, we'll relive an astronaut's jaw-dropping aerial encounter at 9,000 feet. Could human abilities hold the key to understanding UAPs? Let's find out.
A tweet from UAP One says, and this is a quote from Gary Nolan, it says, the evidence suggests that there are certain kinds of people with certain kinds of abilities that they are in some way lighthouses in the dark to these things, meaning non-human intelligences, because certain people recognize they see it for what it is. The moment of interaction is sort of like a quantum connection. In this next video clip, we'll hear from Dr. Gary Nolan and Dr. Rudy Schild, who is a preeminent expert on black holes and a world-renowned astrophysicist from Harvard.
Both of you have said on this program and outside the program that in similar words. So Rudy said to us, NHI is here and it can't wait to talk to us. And Gary, you have said, again, I'm paraphrasing the both of you, that they are communicating through us, through particular others who are able to communicate out what they are trying to say. Can we elaborate a little bit on that? Maybe we'll start with you, Gary.
So again, I'm going to correct something because otherwise I'll end up on the front page of The Guardian tomorrow. So I never said that they are communicating through certain people, but I said that the evidence, which is not proof or nor a conclusion, the evidence suggests that there are certain kinds of people with certain kinds of abilities, that they are in some way lighthouses in the dark to these things, that they, from whatever vantage they sit, this is all speculation, they see these people. Or perhaps it's a different way, a different turn is that because certain people recognize what they see for what it is, that moment of interaction is sort of like a quantum connection, right?
Interesting.
That basically causes these things to be entangled. And,
I get it.
you know, I call it, it's an intelligence test, or it's a mirror test. You know, the mirror test in the jungle is, can an animal walk by a mirror and not see it just as an enemy, but actually eventually recognize it as itself? And so is this a mirror test for us, that we're actually recognizing ourselves, or a form of ourselves, or something that we might eventually become in the future? So that's how I think about it.
Rudy, in one of the discussions we had, maybe in a couple of discussions we had, you were fascinated by trying to understand why many people who are exposed to these type of experiences, engaged with NHI, are become, in your words, horse whisperers, or more creative, or more seemingly psychic.
Yes.
You want to expound on that?
And in fact, people who seem to have a special gift or special gifts, that they see craft more easily, that they have near-death experiences, or have a sensitivity to past lives of humans who've lived previously, or that they become horse whisperers, as you said, or bird whisperers, animal whisperers, or are very intuitive to other human beings, so that they can kind of read your mind. Scary thought. But this all happens to people because they evidently have a wired brain, or rewired brain, or expanded brain wiring. I'm convinced that when you see the light emitted by a UFO, you're seeing a special kind of of radiation that many other people do not see. The exposure to the kind of radiation that a UFO makes is very, very different. It's called quadrupole radiation, but it falls very rapidly off in intensity with distance. That is to say, you can only see it if you're close to the emitting body. This is what other people who have seen flying saucers have described. For example, Susie Hansen has described that after the appearance of a UFO, after its departure, the valley was still alive with the kind of radiation for a moment. She points out how she could see the veins in the leaves of the maple trees that they had, and it was something that other people didn't seem to see. Well, that's because the brains of some of these individuals have been rewired to see more than dipole radiation. And when your brain is rewired by light stimulation, that rewiring continues with it for life. And so other effects, which are quantum in character and of a stranger kind of mathematics than simple XYZ space, those people have their expanded brain that can also tune in other serious ways to the intellectual or the thought processes going on in the universe. That makes some people very sensitive to what happened in a past life. It's the source of all of the tricks that we discuss as a classified phenomena in the Ray Hernandez volumes. And I'm convinced that that is the missing secret, that there is another form of radiation that our space allows to exist.
So I found that video to be super interesting. I definitely recommend going into the video description box and finding the link to it, because you guys should watch the whole entire talk. It's actually really interesting.
It's a podcast that's called Behind Greatness.
Yeah, I sampled a really small section of that conversation, but there was a lot of things that they were saying that I found to be quite relevant and things that I've heard before. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if everybody in the UAP Society audience knows, but on my channel, Hello Allie YouTube channel, we talk to people all the time that have had NDEs, or that have that are literally NDE researchers that have studied thousands of different cases. Mm-hmm. We've spoken to channelers, psychic mediums. We've spoken to people that are experiencers that have been abducted, and everybody pretty much kind of has the same similarity thread throughout their stories, that like once you're exposed to this kind of thing, like once you somehow cross that barrier or go behind the veil, whatever word you want to use or whatever phrase you want to use to describe it, once you see it, it's like something happens in here to where now from that point forward, you're more predisposition to see it or to encounter it again.
So basically, like he just said, your brain gets rewired.
Right. I mean, I don't know about actual rewiring, but I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I get the analogy that he makes.
Same. Right. Like we even recently spoke to a woman named Jeanette Biro, who was a YouTuber, and she is a psychic medium, and she was a psychic medium for 10 years before she had her NDE. Then she had an NDE, went over to the other side, and then she was able to start channeling. All of a sudden she had ETs coming through. All of a sudden she had Pleiadian beings that were speaking to her. So I just find this all so very interesting. The telepathy tapes also comes to mind, because what is this other place that all these people are tapping into? What is this source? What is this stream of information? Where did downloads come from?
And if you have not, for some reason, if you have not heard of the telepathy tapes yet, please go look it up on Spotify. You have to listen to it. It's utterly
and it doesn't even have anything to do specifically with directly with UFOs. It just has to do with the human innate abilities.
Yeah,
basically, just basically.
Right.
I found very interesting that Dr. Rudy was talking about people that have had NDEs, people that are susceptible to past lives, which I don't know what the susceptible to past lives mean. I mean, we've all had past lives, but that's another thing. I'm being picky about word choice. But basically, there's something else that I found that I wanted to point out to you guys. I found it to correlate with this very well. So a tweet from Richard G says, "Psychic dream came up during the UAP wave." Interesting. So basically, since this whole drone thing has started, what was it, like mid-November or something like that, there has been an increase in the search history for things like psychic dream. I'm going to show you the picture of that. Psychic abilities and psychic powers. Coincidence?
Interesting.
I think not. Yeah, I find this all very interesting. This is also reminding me of when we did the episode, I don't know how many weeks ago, where we were talking about the Chris Bledsoe, where they put the brain mapping helmet on him, and he was able to call in the orbs or thank them for showing up, and they were mapping his brain as they were doing it. We also covered brain mapping on psychic mediums, Tyler Henry and Teresa Caputo. Okay. So I don't know. I just feel like this is all under some similar umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, it all seems, to correlate with each other. It's interesting, you can't deny that there's you can't deny that there's something there.
Right.
Right. I mean, because there's definitely something to this, especially after hearing the telepathy tapes. That's really kind of changed my perspective.
Telepathy tapes. Spotify.
Yeah,
go listen to it.
Go look that up.
You don't have to believe or even consider aliens to listen to it. If you're a human being living on planet Earth, a human being, go listen to the telepathy tapes, because I guarantee you your mind's going to be blown. All right, let's move on.
All right. So, and next we will hear from astronaut and former ISS commander Leroy Chow discuss his own personal experience with a UAP while piloting his private aircraft. He says 2 metallic spheres zipped by his aircraft while he was at 9,000 feet. Let's hear from the man himself.
All right.
Now, Leroy Chow, former NASA astronaut. He was a commander on the International Space Station as well. Chow has flown several space missions. 3 of them lived on the International Space Station for 6 months. Joins us live here on the Hill once again. Always nice to see you, Leroy. Always fascinating to speak with you. You know what's up there in our skies. You're one of the rare who've been up there and lived on the International Space Station. This is skies of a different kind, but from your perspective, sir. What do you think is going on?
It is pretty mysterious. It's hard to believe that our government doesn't really know what's going on. When these things come up, at first blush to me, it seems like it's some kind of a military program, our military program. And if it's not that, then it gets a little more scary. It's like, well, is this some kind of a bad actor state probing us and seeing what they can do? It seems like it's way too widespread and organized to be some kind of prank, unless somebody's got a lot of money to spend on that. So it's hard to say. It's, our government has denied any knowledge of it or that it's any one of their operations. So I'm just as mystified as you are, actually.
You're mystified, but you also had an incident yourself, right? What happened?
Well, that's right.
What did you see and what do you think it was?
Right, and that was in August. I was flying back from Colorado, and I just refueled in the panhandle of Texas in my small airplane, and I was flying back to Houston on an instrument flight plan, and we were in clear air, and I was about 9,000 feet, and suddenly, out of nowhere, these two big metallic spherical orbs, one on top of the other, about 3 feet in diameter each, went zipping by the left side of my airplane, right underneath, about 20 feet away. And I got a good look at them only for a second. And, it happened so quick, there wasn't even a chance to get scared, but it could have been a bad result if they had actually hit me. So
what do you think it was?
That was mysterious. It wasn't on radar. Air traffic control certainly didn't alert me. It wasn't on my display that shows other airplanes that are participating with the FAA required transponders. So I don't know what it was. My first guess is it's some kind of a military program, a drone of some kind. But it's hard to say, right?
Do you think they knew that they were messing around with someone who used to be up on the International Space Station?
Frankly, I think whoever was operating the drone wasn't aware that I was there, right? So it's just kind of dumb luck that they didn't hit me. And gosh, it kind of makes me a little more, wary as a pilot, and I'm keeping my eyes out a little more outside than I used to.
Is the government doing enough? Do you think they're doing enough to basically get to the bottom of this?
I think they could be a little more transparent. I think they could tell us what they know. I mean, and like I said, if they really don't know, that's a little more disconcerting, right? I mean, shouldn't they know? I mean, how could we have the best, most advanced military and capabilities, technological capabilities in the world, and if they don't know, that's even more disconcerting.
Leroy Chiao, former NASA, former commander of the International Space Station, had an incident of his own, and of course, is asking questions just like the rest of us. Leroy, thank you, appreciate it.
How do they not know? I mean, if they don't know, which I don't know if they do know or don't know for sure, but I have a suspicion that they know a lot more than what they're saying.
They always know a lot more than what they're saying. They're always going to know 10 times more information than what they release to the public. Why? Because they don't want to cause mass hysteria.
Yeah. If this were an adversary, I imagine they would be shooting these objects down before.
They did last year when they didn't know who it was, when they had them things floating over Alaska and floating over North Carolina.
Right.
I mean,
they took them down.
Yep, sure did. But this year, this drone situation, they're like, meh. I don't know. Don't be scared, though. We don't know what the fuck it is, but don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know. Now, there have been some people that have said, or that have found a metallic sphere with a bunch of spikes all over it, and they're kind of conflating that with what he saw, and that is totally not what he said. He said they were round metallic spheres.
Yeah, they found some silver NASA balloons and were like, oh, this is what he saw, blah, blah, blah. Right. Meanwhile, he said that the things that he saw were 3 feet in diameter.
Each.
And the NASA weather balloons are like ginormous. Like, you can't even, hug it. It's, like, huge. So anyways.
Yeah, anyway, I don't really resonate with
I'm surprised you
what he saw as being a weather balloon.
I'm surprised you even brought that up.
I'm just saying that's what some people are saying.
No,
I
it's
don't
true.
agree with that opinion, to be honest.
But again, let's go back to the core of this story. You know, we really do find it interesting that, like, once people start seeing these things, they see them more often. And one of the things that I find highly, highly interesting is that there could be a group of 5 people standing around and there will be something up in the sky. 2 people will be able to perceive it, and the rest of the other three can't. So why is that? Why is that? Are these people's brains different? Are the NHI somehow selectively choosing who perceives them and who doesn't? That would be interesting. How the fuck do they do that? I don't know. But anyways, so could psychic abilities be connected to communication with non-human intelligence? Do you believe that some people are more attuned to non-human intelligence? Could you be one of them? Have you ever had a dream or a psychic experience that coincided with a major event or UAP sighting? Let us know in the comment section below.
All right, and last but not least, who will deliver the death blow to UFO secrecy? Okay, guys, 2024 is almost over, and we're running out of time to uncover who the coup de grace is that Matthew Pines warned us about.
TikTok.
Pines hinted that a highly recognizable public figure, someone who's been in the spotlight, could step forward to validate the explosive claims about non-human UFOs made by David Grush and Carl Nell.
Mm-hmm.
Could this mystery figure finally deliver the death blow to UFO secrecy? Let's break it all down and speculate on who this game changer might be.
Okay, so the reminder of this whole Matthew Pines thing came from a tweet from Michelangelo that says, coup de grace in 2024, the death blow for UFO disclosure. I believe the coup de grace will be coming sometime this year with a ... with someone that everyone would recognize if they, if they paid attention to the news. And that was a quote from Matthew Pines. It goes on to say, sounds like a very credible public figure will be adding some validity to non-human UFOs this year, as well as David Grush and Carl Nell's allegations. Anyone have any theories or guesses on who Matthew Pines is talking about here?
I believe the coup de grace will be coming sometime this year with someone that everyone would recognize if they watch, if they paid attention to the news, you would know this person.
Wild.
So we'll see.
Okay, so when Matthew Pines first came out with this, we covered this on the news. I made a whole little thing about it on Canva, whatever. I know I've stated many times who I think it is, and I don't even like the fact that that's who I think it is, but I think that that's who it is because Matthew Pines keeps saying, oh, everybody knows this person. If you watch the news, you'll know who this person is. Trump. That's who I think it is. I could be wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong. Maybe I don't, because disclosure needs to come, so who cares who it comes from? But that's who I think it is. He thinks
I think
James
it's probably
Clapper.
James Clapper.
Not everybody knows who James Clapper is, though. Like, the normal layman is not going to know who James Clapper is, but every fucking body on planet Earth practically knows who Trump is.
Yeah,
and that's not
you got a point
necessarily
there.
a good
You do
thing.
have a point there, but there are a lot of people that know who James Clapper is.
Well, we got a whole, 3-4 days left of this year, and I guess
Okay, so
maybe...
in Matthew Pines' defense,
Why are we defending him?
Well, because recently, within the last few weeks, I think he's come out and amended that to say that it should be within the next few weeks. It might not be by the end of the year.
Oh, so he gave a time extension, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
Wah, 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 wah. Okay, well, whatever. So, 2024 is almost over. By the way, Happy New Year, you guys. I hope that 2025 brings you lots of love, luck, abundance, happy times, things to be excited for, things to help you grow, things to help you learn, all the good abundance stuff. And yeah, I hope it's better than 2024, and we'll all be here to celebrate it together. So, yay.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you think that this mystery figure could be? Any guesses on which public icon might step forward? How big of an impact would it have if a credible, well-known figure confirmed the existence of non-human intelligences? Let us know in the comment section below.
And that concludes this week's UAP Society's UAP UFO News Show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and while you're here, do us a favor and smash that like button, click subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave us a lovely comment down below, and share this video with your family and friends to help us spread the good word.
Let's raise the collective consciousness together in unity.
All right, much love.
Much love, peace, and namaste. And Happy New Year!